Hello automators, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Brian from Automate Your Life, and while there are literally hundreds of smart speakers that you can buy today, I have tested just about every one of them. And this means that I can put together today's top 5 list that will make sure you're spending your money in the right place when it comes to smart speakers. When you combine what I would call a near perfect speaker experience with a beautiful design, then you're creating something that no one can, or at the very least, should ignore. With the 3 brand new color options on the HomePod Mini, this speaker comes in at number 5 on our list. Those new colors, plus the fact that this is an incredibly small smart speaker, means that you can either color match or accent any of your colors in your home, or you can tuck away the HomePod Mini, which is really important with smart home technology. We want it to kind of blend in where we can. Its voice assistant Siri reacts to your commands and your requests, and it does so very efficiently. Siri is actually the second most accurate voice assistant available on the market today, but what you'll find in general is that it's better at executing actions than it is at providing general information back to you. That means it's very good at using its family intercom feature, and it's very good at smart home control, especially when using its onboard Thread border router. The inclusion of Thread, plus the fact that Apple is a major player in the upcoming Matter smart home standard that will be available on smart home devices in early 2022, means that the Apple HomePod Mini is ready for the future of the smart home industry. When you listen to this speaker producing music, what you'll instantly notice is near perfect clarity, plus an incredibly accurate frequency response. And you'll be able to hear all of that anywhere around the speaker, since it drives sound at a perfect 360 degrees around the speaker. This comes into play, of course, when you're playing music, but it also comes into play when you pair it, or a couple of these, with an Apple TV 4K. This allows you to create a home theater experience and works especially well in bedroom settings. The power usage for the HomePod Mini is one of the lowest in the industry, and this is even true when you turn it up to 100% volume. On the flip side, though, what you're going to find is that this is a relatively quiet smart home speaker. And you will also find that it's entirely tied into the Apple ecosystem. So you'll need an Apple iPhone to set this up, and you'll need that in general to do smart home control, plus just to use services like Apple Music with the HomePod Mini. Fourth on my list is not what you would call a traditional smart speaker, but when you look at the full list of features that you get with this next purchase that will only cost you $120, well, then it becomes really clear why I recommend this above a lot else. Not only do you get the ability to voice control your entire smart home with the most ubiquitous voice assistant on the planet today, but you also get access to what I would call the second best smart TV interface on the market today. Plus, you can pair this device with other better smart speakers to create an amazing home theater experience, and you get it all for that price. This is the Amazon Fire TV Cube 2nd generation, and not only do you get all of what I just said, but you also get a remote for controlling the Fire TV interface, so it becomes a really easy smart speaker to start with. I've paired that device with a number of Echo speakers around my home, and this gets me the ability to have that home theater experience without all of the wires running around. But speaking of wires, due to the flexibility of the Fire TV Cube, this is one of the only, if not the only, smart speaker that you could actually wire in with an Ethernet connection. And that means you can get not only the streaming of TV content off of your home's Wi-Fi, but even the smart speaker capability off of your home's Wi-Fi. This is a major benefit if you have a lot of devices or if your Wi-Fi is struggling a little bit. The Fire TV's onboard storage also means that you can sideload applications on it to get incredible capabilities out of your Fire TV. I have a whole hidden tips and tricks video that takes a ton of different features that you would want on a smart speaker or on a Fire TV and gives it to you. The Fire TV Cube can 100% double as a knife, and it is remarkably shiny and it gets fingerprints all over it when you touch it. But all of this is secondary to the fact that it is a full smart home speaker with Amazon's voice assistant on board. This gives you access to all of their routines and automation features, plus a number of specialized routine and automation features for the Fire TV component that's on board. And while this speaker is nothing to write home about and you won't use it for music, I think it's pretty clear that the dual purpose here makes this a really interesting smart speaker to bring into your home. As I close in on speaker number 3, I'd like to stop and ask your opinion about something. So leave a comment down below for what you'd like to see for a top 5 video from me. Now, what I'm asking here is, would you like to see the top 5 best gadgets of a category that you're looking into at the moment, or the best 5 ways to stop a package thief, some kind of problem you're having in your home, or the best 5 uses for a product you already own? Whatever it is, I'd love to hear. There is nothing like a good night of sleep to get me ready for that next day, or maybe that's the next video. But there's only one smart speaker available today that can help me with that. Not only can this smart display play a number of white noise sounds over the entirety of an evening, but it can also accurately measure my sleep patterns and my movements and everything going on in an evening without me having to wear a smartwatch or something to bed that annoys me. It also gives me access to what I think is the best smart display interface for controlling your smart home, the best voice assistant on the planet, and it acts just like a full-featured alarm clock. All of this for $100 US. The new Google Nest Hub 2nd generation has improved speakers over the previous generation. Plus, it has the onboard processor called Soli, which is a radar technology that measures your movements throughout your evening. The sleep data processing happens all on board the Nest Hub with that Soli chip, and only aggregate information is therefore sent to Google servers and your health app. This means that Google can give you really detailed information on board the Nest Hub in terms of your sleep patterns, but it also means that it respects your privacy in an important way when you think about extracurricular activities going on in your bedroom. But the level of detail that they're getting out of the Soli radar system here means that they can provide you really great recommendations and incredible insight into what you can do to improve your sleep. I love the fact that I can play rain sounds over the entirety of an evening, and I also love that before my alarm goes, I get my screen and the smart lighting in my space to slowly rise to a brightness that naturally wakes me up. Also, when that alarm actually goes off, I can choose from a number of artists or playlists or even specialized sounds. I have full control of this device as an alarm. I really like that in the evenings I can choose between a really dim clock or I can turn off the screen entirely, and during the days I get the rotation of all of my favorite family and friend photos, or I can display the weather with Google's Weather Frog. And to put it bluntly, this is the best voice assistant on the planet on this device and the best smart display control interface, which leads me into our number 2 choice. With all of the benefits of that Nest Hub except for the sleep tracking, the Google Nest Hub Max has an incredible 10.1-inch smart display interface. It has the best speaker in the whole Google Assistant lineup, and it's an incredibly fast smart display interface that we can use to control our home and access all kinds of information. The screen is vibrant and it becomes a great way to watch videos from YouTube or Netflix and Disney Plus services. Plus, you're going to be able to play music on this and control it in really amazing ways. One of my favorite features on all of the smart displays that I have is the ability to, on the fly, add other Google Nest speakers using this interface. And each time I add another speaker, the sound experience just levels up. The Nest Hub Max also comes with a full Nest security camera on board, and what I really like about this is when I leave my home, it automatically turns that camera on, and now while I'm at home, this camera is fully off. So these kinds of features just happen automatically once you've done that initial setup, and I have full security when I want it and full privacy when I want that. That Nest camera also allows you to video call people using Google Duo or even have full Google Meet meetings, and that's one of the ways I've used this display interface myself. Google's recipes and shopping list feature really show up well on the Nest Hub Max. Plus, you have the ability to leave family notes or use the family bell features to communicate or keep that family in line. And the family broadcast feature allows you to use that smart display to communicate with people who have phones with the Google Assistant on board. That means I can send messages directly to their phone that are just turned into text messages for them. And I really like the new Nest doorbell when used in conjunction with my Nest Hub Max, because when the doorbell is pressed, the video feed from the doorbell just shows up immediately here and I get a nice ringtone. Sadly though, the Nest Hub Max didn't get number one on our list here today because they don't have a ton of automation options. Really, that doorbell is one of the only instant things that happen with Google Nest and their whole Google Home application. So the problem here is, although Google does have a Nest border router physically on this device, and therefore it'll be ready for that Matter standard as well in 2022, well, they're not using it and they're not providing us access to using things like motion sensors or door and window sensors to start automation in our home, and it kind of limits what you can do with this from a smart home perspective. So while this big miss by Google should be fixed next year, do not go out there and buy a smart speaker based on the promise of a better future. Although these products do get regular updates, and that's great, this is one of the reasons that I chose number one on our list to be what it is. This speaker only costs $100, and it has one of the most interesting designs today for any smart speaker. It provides an incredible music experience, and it has some of the most advanced automation features available today anywhere. All of this and much more is available on the Amazon Echo 4th generation. When we talk about bang for the buck, this speaker, when we're just talking about the loudness and the dollars you spend, comes in third out of 20 tested speakers. And that is before we get to quality. Because it's not just about how loud a speaker can get, or I'd have a lot of great smart speakers to talk about, but this speaker rivals, and even in a lot of cases sounds better than the Apple HomePod Mini that I called a near perfect music experience. And when I talked about the Amazon Fire TV Cube, I said you could pair an Echo speaker, and this is one of the best ones to go and pair a couple of these and to create a home theater system. And that's exactly what I did with a couple of these special edition red Echo Dots. And that's one of the other great things that Amazon does. They're not just selling the blue ball here, they're selling the red, and they have other colors that come in and out as we go. But it's not just home theater. You can use these in the full multi-room audio group, so you can walk throughout your home and be listening to a number of these as you move throughout your space. Then you add in features like drop-in, which acts like an intercom between any of your two Echo speakers or any of your Echo shows and other Echo speakers you have. Then you can even call friends and family if they have Echo speakers using this, so it's an instant family and friend communication device too. This speaker is ready for the future too, as Amazon's part of that Matter standard, and this has a neural processor on board which has become better and better at recognizing those standard commands or requests I make on a regular basis, and it is getting faster and faster at responding to those, sometimes even before I get the full command out. Amazon connects to an incredible amount of smart gadgets available on the market, and if we're being honest, they have run away with the lead in that category because their speakers are the most popular in many countries, including the US. But this version of an Echo speaker takes connectivity to another level because of the onboard Zigbee hub and because they've included what's called an Amazon Sidewalk bridge. Something else that Amazon has done with this product is they've connected it to the Ring system. And what I mean by that is normally you have to buy a Ring bridge, but actually nowadays you can use the Amazon Echo 4th generation as that Ring bridge. So there's all kinds of smart home connectivity options. And when you take all of that and you combine it with Amazon's Routines feature, which allows you to run a number of automations in your home, you can create some incredible experiences for not a lot. Of course, I can't go into all of the details here with all of these speakers, but I do have all of those details available for you. If you're narrowing down on a speaker or a system of speakers, well, I have a number of comparison reviews and reviews that will give you all of those details and will make sure you're buying the perfect smart home speaker for your space. So check out the playlist over there. You'll find something for that speaker you're narrowing in on. Otherwise, thanks for watching today. And of course, don't hate, automate.